time, weather, and always class.
Hi, friends. How are you? It's April. Look at her. She doesn't even know. Is it? That was the most like Stepford Wife intro. Hi, how are you? Are my eyes bleeding? I'm so tired. Friends, we've made it. It's month 4. It's April. I am 3 weeks postpartum and honestly doing okay, other than just like utterly exhausted. Like when you talk about running on fumes, that's where I'm at. But we're going to talk a little bit about that today. So I want to say there's so many new friends here in the community that have this is going to be your first month of the video newsletter. So, I'm really going to just turn it on for you, baby. Here we go. It is the 4th month. And so what I think is interesting about 4, I always like looking at the numerology of every month. If you aren't familiar with numerology, I am not fully the person to teach it to you, but the Cliff's Notes version is it's basically the energy that different numbers hold, right? And this is based off of like Kabbalah and the Tree of Life. And so there's a lot of different kind of like spiritual modalities that go into it. So you can take it or leave it if it's for you. I love utilizing tools and inspiration from all forms of spirituality and energy. I think, that's just kind of my personality in general. It's like, why go to a buffet and like only eat cottage cheese? You know what I mean? Like you got to try a little bit of everything. So, numerology for the number 4 is really just about bliss and love. And, there's something really. It's also a number of kind of like renewal, which is interesting that we have Easter and Passover and Ramadan all take place typically within the month of April. And we have, we just came out of the spring equinox, which was actually the day that my son was born. And so we're kind of bringing in this new energy. And if you have not, hot plug, if you've not downloaded and subscribed to the Rachel LaForce Show, may I humbly invite you to do so. The episode that is out this week is talking all about, there's a lot of crossover between today's video and that episode and kind of just talking about the energy of 4. And I don't know if you have felt this way in this year, but it feels like hyper speed. I don't know if that's just because like I'm so tired, so I feel like I'm watching the world underwater. Like everything is just like, I'm like, huh? What day is it? What's going on? So everything feels so fast, but I do think that that's the world in general. It's like we've already had a very, very high number of like gun violence and mass shootings and just like so much is going on in our collective that also just gives us whiplash and it feels so fast. Good Lord, Billy McFarland is like, we're doing Firefest too, like slow down. There's just too much going on. So a couple of things that I wanted to offer you. One is for the month of 4, and something to kind of help you slow down and ground is, where it's like, it's April showers bring May flowers, right? The month of April is all about, for me right now, integration. It's this revival, this renewal, it's spring and, this kind of new awakening. But also with that and with rebirth is new. Things are new. And when things are new, we don't fully have our footing. We're not fully integrated. We're navigating something for the first time. April showers bring May flowers. Allow yourself to utilize this time to ground within yourself, to figure out how is it that I want to navigate moving forward? What do I want to see bloom? How do I want to work through that? Now is the time to do that. Even though it feels like things are going fast, you don't have to move that quickly. So I pulled some oracle cards for myself today. And again, oracle cards are just another form of a spiritual tool that I like to use for reflection and self-discovery. And this deck was actually gifted to me by another very gifted comedian and energy channeler and healer, Sarah Shook. She's got a great podcast called I'm Shook. Go and check that out. So shout out to my girl, Sarah. I love you, Sarah. And so I pulled 4 cards for the month of 4, and I just wanted to share them with you because they just felt super applicable. So this first card is flexibility, and these are nature cards. I know you can't fully see this, but they're these really beautiful cards. And so this card is flexibility. And it's called Bamboo in the Wind. So again, this is this deck is a nature deck. So you'll kind of find the themes in it. The symbolism of bamboo runs deep, whereas many larger, seemingly stronger trees will break in high winds. Bamboo simply bends and sways. Its flexibility allows it to survive and even thrive while other species suffer. Even during a hard winter when its branches are laden with snow, bamboo doesn't break. It snaps back when the snow melts in the spring. It also has a strong root system so that even during strong storms, it survives. Additionally, it's often a symbol of abundance because of its rapid growth. Its upward, verdant, constant growth is used as a metaphor for the fulfilling rise of prosperity. Additionally, it suggests that a time of rapid growth is ahead. Don't resist it. The time is right for this surge of spiritual growth to occur. And if that's not everything that I've been talking about, I don't know what is. And it was funny because I initially only pulled 3 cards. And 4 is a lot because if you're, again, wanting to really hear these messages, 4 is a lot to take in. And there was this card and it was stuck and I was like, man, this is stuck. Why can't? And then it was the flexibility card and it was stuck. And I'm like, oh, if that was not like, hey, Rachel, stop making yourself stuck, stay flexible. Here is why. I was like, okay, I see you. This other card is fulfillment. It has a big peach on it at the full moon. Fulfillment, get it? Full moon. The peach tree blooms early, and because of this, it's often a symbol of spring and the renewal of life. Again, I pulled these. This is what I'm saying, where I know some people are like, I don't do, where your spiritual walk, and again, there's no judgment, just jokes, but your spiritual walk is much more of like, I pray to God and that's what I do. And I have a relationship with Jesus, which is beautiful, all of the things. But this is also why I think utilizing multiple tools as a way to receive messages from God, and however you define that, is so important because it can surprise you in the most fun ways. So the first one was all about flexibility and, of being in this time of rapid growth, which is all that I'm talking about and how fast things are going. And then this one is all about the growth and symbol of spring. So the peach is also a Chinese symbol of a happy marriage and of fertility. In some traditions, it stands for immorality. Ripe peaches are also of great fulfillment. And in Korean traditions, the peach represents happiness, riches, honors, and longevity. In the Renaissance, peaches represent the heart and love and speaking the truth from one's heart. So I really loved that. And also, so I just wanted to offer you this too. It's saying to, if you've had any health issues, that a ripe peach represents a return to better health. Savor your life with gusto and with grace. Experience and embrace life in all of its forms. So I just thought that was also, this card represents an omen for a great outcome. That reads more like a, what are those called? Fortune cookies, but they all can't be winners. Okay. The third card is opportunity, which of course it's spring. That's where we are. We're also in the middle of eclipse season, which I don't even have time to get into, but we have an eclipse coming up April 19th. It's wild in these streets. Here we go. Opportunity. And again, there's big pine trees and a beautiful moon on this one. So the name of this card is The Moon Through Pine Trees, which just feels like a movie that, Ryan Gosling would be in or something. Okay. An occasional owl hoot and the song of a solo coyote punctuate the stillness in the forest as a traveler walks through the pines. Light from a waning moon filters down through the canopy of needles and cascades across the forest floor. Sometimes the trees obscure the moon, but sometimes it illuminates, clearly showing us the path ahead. The moon and her glow represent the feminine and receptive side of life. Just as the moon receives and reflects the light from the sun, symbolically, the moon represents receiving the goodness of what the universe wants to flow to you. So stay open, receptive, and the physical and emotional gifts will come to you. Instead of bemoaning the fact that there isn't a steady and consistent stream of joy and gifts, accept whatever you receive in a spirit of gratitude, and your bounty will increase. This is universal law. What I really loved about this is it's that idea of it was just that the moon is revealing to you all that is around you. So I think spring is a great time, right? We talk about spring cleaning and what are we throwing out. And I love, this is a teaching from Remington Donovan. Also follow Remington. He's a dear friend and spiritual teacher of mine. And he always talks about making yourself a fit receptacle. All the time we're like, oh, I want this thing, or I want a relationship, or I want a new job and all these things. But all of our actions are in opposition of that thing, right? You're still looking at ex's Instagrams or following up with people or dating people who you don't actually want to be in a relationship with, or, you want to move ahead in your career, but you're not putting yourself out there to look for jobs or putting yourself out there for promotions. So I think this idea of letting the moon through the trees, let it reveal to you, again, in this idea of let's slow down. How do you stay sane on a moving train? If things are going really fast, just use this time to take stock. Even if it is just doing actual spring cleaning, get rid of your shit. If you don't need it, if you don't use it, donate it, find another home, clear your space so that you're creating a space that can really bring in new things. You're creating a space that, feels decluttered and can allow your mind and body to rest into this space. This is our fourth card. This is our last one. And this card is Voyage. And it has these two beautiful whales on it. And again, another full moon. And we also have a full moon coming up as well. So it's interesting that all of these have been moon cards. Have they all been full moons? I think so. That's wild. Okay. So the Voyage, this is the humpback whale card. The humpback whale makes the longest journey of any mammal. They travel 14,000 miles every year. Wow, sounds like a traveling comic. Okay. They spend the summer months near polar regions, and in the winter, they journey towards the equator to tropical waters. Among some native tribes, whales are considered to be the protectors of travelers and journeyers, as well as guardians of the sea. I didn't know that. It's a fun fact. This card indicates that no matter what your journey is and where it takes you, you have protectors at your side. So this is saying that the sacred landscape wants you to know. If you've pulled this card, get ready. You are about to embark on a journey. It might be an inner sojourn or an outer voyage to a distant land. It might be a project or idea that's coming to life, but most certainly, if you are a traveler, you're going into the unknown. So, where do you want to go? Where have you always wanted to go or be? And this is the time to make that happen. Get prepared. Have a clear vision of what you want to experience, but also become prepared for the unexpected, because that is part of the exhilaration of being a traveler. Remember to enjoy the journey as much as reaching the destination. Again, Beautiful stuff. I don't know why this last sentence always sounds like a fortune cookie, but what I think is so interesting again about this card is the tying back into, having a clear vision. Again, like the opportunity card, same thing. There's opportunity that's available to you. Take stock, allow the moon to show you what is it that you have. Use this month. April showers bring May flowers. Where do you want to go? If you're going on a journey, get prepared. What do you want to pack? What do you need? And then again, it goes back to that first card of staying flexible. That in a journey, you don't always know where you're going to go. You don't always know where it's going to end up. So I really just encourage you within this month, stay flexible, finding your fulfillment, right? Making that gratitude list. What do you have now? What have you been working towards? How can you find fulfillment? How can you find stability in where you are right now, no matter where that is? How can you look for more opportunity? What's already available to you? What resources do you have? What do you need to call in? Maybe you need to find some more support, right? So again, looking at these April showers to make May flowers, and lastly, getting ready for what the voyage is and getting ready for what's next, because it's only going to continue to accelerate and get faster. So my belief wholeheartedly is that, if you're here, that you're also on a bigger journey, and that hopefully this is helpful for you. And wherever you are, I'm so grateful that you're here. Again, if you're interested in kind of hearing more about this energy that we're working with, this 4-month, this idea of really taking stock of where you are before things really take off, I highly encourage you to listen to the last episode of the Rachel LaForce show that came out this week. I talked a lot about that. And I also referenced the 4 agreements. I'm sure most of you know this book by the back of your hand. I encourage you to revisit it. If it's new to you, definitely go and check it out. I'm so glad that you guys are here. It's April. We're already doing it. And before we blink, I will be seeing you next month for May. My birthday is May 1st. Feel free to send me gifts. That's not a bit. That's real. You know what I mean? Mama always loves a Starbucks card. Why not? Why not? Venmo me $5 for coffee. Oh, because I'm exhausted and I'm fully just existing on coffee and protein. I'm so glad you're here. As always, I love you so, so much. Tune out, tune in. Love you, mean it.
Time, weather, and